Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin and welcome back to my channel. So I am really excited about this week's video because we're actually not talking about Disney Channel. I know, crazy, but we're going to be talking instead about the best movie of all time, which is of course Barbie as the Princess and the Pauper. Now I know you're probably thinking, Caitlin, there's a lot of great Barbie movies, and I'm like, I know, but Barbie Princess and the Pauper is the best one. I thought I would explain to you, if maybe you haven't seen it or you somehow disagree with me with it being the best movie of all time, as to why it is the best movie of all time. So with all that being said, let's just jump right into it. So first and foremost, if you haven't seen Barbie as Princess and the Pauper, the legend that it is the first Barbie movie that was a full-on musical. And that is one of the main key points as to why this movie is the best, is because of all the amazing songs in the film, and they are all bops. Every single one of them. Written in Your Heart, Free, Girl Like You, Cat's Meow, they all are the best. Every single song in the film is perfect. They're all written beautifully. They all have like good influences of like the time that the movie is supposed to take place in. They all are like sung beautifully. They fit in with the storyline. They're never forced. They're never like too pop soundy, but they're still catchy, which is amazing. Also, the end credit song I think is really underrated but really beautiful, and it's sung by like a 9-year-old, which is insane because her voice is incredible. Moving on to the storyline. Now this is one of the key factors that makes this movie one of the best movies, because unlike some of the other Barbie storylines, this one like is a good storyline. Like, you've got two strong female leads. It's not just all about their looks and like Barbie being a princess or whatever. Like, they actually are smart. They actually care about like what they want. They do what they need to do in life, even though like it's not what they want to do. They just do it because they know they have to do it. Like, what a good message. Erica, I'm gonna spoil the film if you haven't seen it, but like it came out in 2004, so like why haven't you seen it? Because it's the best movie ever made. Erica, at the end of the film, she chooses her dream over like the love of her life, which is like so incredibly adorable. She's able to go live her dream and be a singer, but then she still comes back to him at the end. How adorable. That's so cute. Speaking of coming back to him at the end, the ships in this movie, they're like my first ships I think that I ever shipped in my entire life. Erica and Dominic were so adorable, and then you have Annalise and Julian, and it was like they were just meant to be together. Like you rooted for them the whole movie. They were just all perfect for each other, and like the whole storyline, like them like not like meaning to fall in love, and then they do fall in love, and then they get married at the end in a double wedding. That was like goals when I was little as a kid, like watching that double wedding. Like I still kind of want that. That's just so adorable. And then the cats, they got married too. Speaking of the cats, Wolfie, the barking cat, the best character in that film. He's amazing. I love him. Also, the bloopers. A lot of the Barbie movies had great bloopers, but Princess and the Pauper had like the best bloopers. Like when Julian starts breakdancing, so good. This movie also took place in like prime Barbie film franchise time, because it was like the time when the Barbie films were remaking the classic fairy tales. Rapunzel, Swan Lake, 12 Dancing Princesses. This one was just such a pivotal moment for the Barbie film canon series because it was the first musical and it was amazing. It wasn't just the two leads that were great and the barking cat. There was also Preminger, which was like the best villain of all time. He was voiced by Martin Short, which is amazing, and he was just hilarious. I love him. Even though he's a villain, like he's the best villain. How can I refuse? Legend. Also, Kelly Sheridan as Barbie was like the best Barbie voice ever. Like, if I hear her voice, I'm like, that's Barbie, because she is Barbie. She's Barbie's voice. And then having her be Annalise and Erica in this film was just amazing. She did a great job. And then the singers that they did, like I know it wasn't Kelly singing in the songs, but the singers that they did have for them were so good. Now the merch is another thing. All Barbie movies I feel like have great merch, but Princess and the Pauper's merch really stood out because, you know what, one second. To show you how great it was, I actually have examples, because guess who still has these? Well, that's a lie. I don't still have them. I don't even know what happened to like my original, all my Barbie Princess and the Pauper stuff, but like it's been many years, and so I found these guys on eBay a couple years back because they were the best things of my whole childhood. And also it was just really nostalgic for me to have them again, and then I found them and they're like new in box, which is really cool. But the best thing about these dolls was that they could sing. Oh, her battery died. That's really sad. Is hers dead? Ah! I'm sad that her battery's died. Well, I mean, it's about time. These are like 10 years old. But one of the best things about these singing dolls is they weren't just like any singing dolls. They would sing the song. If you press the buttons at the same time, they would sing the song together. Like, that is next level technology right there. You don't get much better than that. And I feel like the merch was so on point because the whole aesthetic of the film was so on point. And I kind of already touched on this, but just the overall message of the film, I think, is one of the best ones Barbie has ever had. Just doing what you want to do and being a strong, independent woman. Like, who doesn't want that? I know I learned from it. I think. I don't know. Honestly, I love all the Barbie movies from my own era, but this one's like my favorite by far. I'll still watch it to this day, and like unlike some of the other ones, I never get bored by it. It was like one of the ones that had like the strongest plot line. Like you could really tell that they were like, they did something right in this film, and I think it really shows. Like all jokes aside, like this is just a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. Literally the only criticism I would have of it would be the animation not being as great, but like it was made in 2004, so what do you expect? And then it's like I would love them to remake it, but then they already kind of have twice and it hasn't worked out. See, I want them to remake it, but I wouldn't want them to make any changes. Like it needs to be exactly the same as the original, which is like not really how people like to remake movies. They like to, you know, adapt it like for some reason. I don't know why you'd want to do that. I think that they should do a live action remake of it, and then I can star as Annalise.
Jackie could be Erica.
And Jackie could be Erica. One thing I love too about Erica and Annalise, like their friendship is so pure. Like they meet each other and they immediately click, they immediately understand each other. They basically do anything for each other. Like who doesn't want a friendship like that? That's such a healthy thing. And like them coming from two different lives and yet still like connecting so much. And I just love like the fact that they like really highlighted how smart Annalise was. She has like this whole life planned out for her, but she's like, I just want to talk about science with my boyfriend Julian. I just want to like study and like do school because that's fun. And then Erica just being an indentured servant, but yet she like never gave up hope. What a great role model. I remember me and my one friend would always like pretend to be them, and I always had to be Annalise because I had blonde hair, and she always got to be Erica because she had brown hair, and I was like, but Erica is so much better and cooler. Maybe that's just because she had a barking cat, that's why I thought she was cooler. Like the only other Barbie film I would argue that aesthetic is better than it would probably be Swan Lake, because I think that the Swan Lake film has a really great aesthetic. So I just thought it was about time that like the world knew that this is the best movie ever made. If you disagree with me, you're wrong. I love it with all my heart. Obviously, Prince and the Pauper was also my favorite one growing up. The only other one I really liked maybe as much would be Magic of Pegasus, but I can't even watch that one again today because the storyline is so bad. That's where this movie shines, because it's got a great storyline. I will stand by that to this day. I don't care what you say. I feel like the only other story that comes close to Prince and the Pauper would be Barbie as Rapunzel, but that one's not a musical, so that's why it's not as good. So if you haven't watched Barbie as Prince and the Pauper, I would say do yourself a favor and watch the best movie ever made. You can find it on YouTube, like it's not a hard movie to watch. So I don't know what your excuse is if you haven't seen it, but you guys gotta let me know down below if you guys watched Barbie movies growing up. If you did, what one was your favorite? Because I'm sure that like different generations probably have different favorite ones, but as long as we can all agree that like this one is the best one, I think that would be great. So yeah, let me know down below which Barbie movie is your favorite. I can't wait to read all about it. Anyways, guys, my name is Caitlin. You can follow me everywhere at Kate Loves Disney. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that bell because I post new videos every single Friday. But that's all I have to say for today. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.
To have one day for myself, not waking up with a pile of work on every shelf, with no hems in need of pressing and no sleeves in disarray, no wedding gown with 1,000 stitches to crochet.